doing this session because it's important, especially for us as women, to share experiences. I think that you find that when you're storytelling and when people are getting to know what your company is, how you got there, some of the constraints, how you overcame them, it really can lessen the length of a journey for someone who may just be starting up or maybe going through a similar challenge as you went through when you started your journey. Thank you so much. Okay, so to start off with, I think we would just like to get to know who you are as an individual and also the company that you founded. Tell us a little bit about your journey. Please go ahead. Kim, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and more?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Hey. So, yeah, my name is Kim. I'm the founder and managing director of Umoyo Natural Health. I came to Zambia when I was 3 years old. That was back in 1980. And this is my home. My journey, the Umoyo journey, it's been a long and hard and tough journey, I can tell you. We were incorporated back in 2007. Very humble beginnings. I was operating just from a small flat that I was renting, where I was doing detox programs for people and helping people overcome chronic illnesses like diabetes and high blood pressure. And from there, we've grown. We got a bigger facility where we had our clinic, and then of course the shops came, and now we're into manufacturing. But it's been an organic growth. We've never at any point had a big sum of money come into the company. It's just been slow and steady. And it took us about 3 years before we started making any profits. And whatever small profits we made, it just went back into the business to build the business stronger, build a very strong foundation to grow the company to where it is today. But it takes time. You need patience and perseverance, I would say. And for me personally, where that comes from is my passion for health. And I think that is a big message that I always give out, in that, you know, I fundamentally believe that all of us are unique and special in some way. We have something innate within us, that a gift to give to the world. I mean, we're not all going to be Beyonce or a 100-meter sprint Olympic athlete, but we all have something, and it's our job to figure out what that is, what it is that makes our heart sing. And then once we figure that out, we can incorporate that into our work. And that gives us that why. Why are we doing something? And because when things get tough, you need a very strong why to be able to continue. So my why is that passion for health.
Thank you, Kim. I do know that you said you started in 2007. And you've made particular emphasis about the difficulty of the journey. Well, okay, I can picture that you had a lot of hurdles along the way, right? And your passion has driven you to the point where you are. I think the first time I saw at the Umoyo shop, I only saw one, and I was like, what is this? And we did try to get you on board as a member of ZAM. It was a lot of work. We equally didn't give up. But I think I'm quite keen to know, aside from the passion, how did you achieve this organic growth? Because I think you've heard the discussions and even some of the contributions today around accessing finance and how to reinvest in your business. So how did you achieve that growth?
Like I alluded to, we just really made sure to not take anything out of the company and just kind of reinvest, however small. And that is what allowed us to grow. That is it. But of course, there's so much more to it as well, you know. I think a big lesson for us is, and this has been a big lesson in my life in general, that I've had to accept, that nothing ever stays the same. There is always going to be change, and you just got to accept it. The sooner you accept it, the better. And you have to, in order to survive and grow, you have to be flexible. You have to be able to adapt. collaboration. Key personnel, they leave, new people come in, there's a different dynamic. You've got to be able to adapt to that. But also, of course, the environment in which you operate in. And we've all experienced that in the last couple of years with COVID, what's been happening with exchange rates, and you need to be able to adapt and be flexible. And with us, if we had just one goal, we're going to be a health clinic, and we stuck to that, then our business would be extremely different today compared to what it is, because we looked at our environment and we grew. So, for instance, just as an example, when we had our health clinic back in the day, we realized, well, people are getting onto healthier lifestyles, but there are no good quality products to support that. So what did we do? We opened the first health shop here. And so on. I have many examples like that, but I think the big takeaway and the big lesson is that nothing ever stays the same. Change is happening all the time, and you have to be able to adapt.
Thank you, Kim. Okay. When you mentioned formalization of your business, right? And I think that quite often people tend to shy away from formalizing because you think about the taxes, you think about how much money you're going to give away, when you need all that money for the growth of your company. And I'd really just like to hear from you, what was the difference between when you were an informal company and when you formalized? What did that do for your business? And how did it contribute to your growth? Kim, now your products are quite interesting because obviously they are health products. And with that comes a number of questions around quality and whether you have done all sorts of analysis and so on. So I'm quite keen to know how you branded your products and how you were able to communicate with the consumer with respect to safety, efficacy, and how important that has been to getting Umoyo where it is today.
Yeah, so from the get-go, quality was a very important thing to us because, like I alluded to earlier, when we started, there weren't really any good quality products that we wanted our clients to use. So quality has always been a fundamental cornerstone, and we work very hard to make sure that people also associate us with quality. If you come into a Umoyo store, you know that the products on the shelf are quality and they're going to do what they say they do. So quality and then integrity is very important to our company. And the third one is natural. So when you come into a Umoyo store, these are natural products. So when we started, to be honest with you, there was no market for natural health. Nobody was really interested in what we were doing. Nobody had heard the term detox, 2007 in Zambia. So we started by trying to get people interested in what we do. That's why for 7 years I wrote in the national newspaper every week an article about health. We were doing, I was doing a health lecture every week at our clinic for free. Anyone can come. And we were doing radio shows every week as well. So we put a lot of effort in to get people interested about health. Of course now, 2022, it's a different world. People are interested in health now. But communicating and with our customers and our clients is still very, very important. And it's also how we know which direction to go, what people want from us, you know. We're very fortunate to have our retail stores where we can communicate every day with our clients, but also social media, which is available to all of us. Just if I want to know what's going on, I can just look at all the comments, the hundreds of comments, and I'll see what the customers want, what they're concerned about, you know. So there are many avenues.
Thank you, Kim. And in terms of customer engagement then, how important is social media?
Oh, it is vital. It is vital. And it took me a while to figure this out, but at Umoyo, we invest heavily in our social media. And we try to be very, very, very active. Minimum 5 posts a day on Instagram and Facebook. Obviously, we're on YouTube, we do a podcast as well. We're now venturing into the world of TikTok. So we're out there. And I feel that for smaller companies, this is the way to go. Because even for us, you know, to do big billboards and be on TV, it's prohibitive in terms of the expense that requires, you know. But social media, I would say, like what, 95% of Zambians are on Facebook.
right? And the importance of branding. Yeah, I think I would like to let you speak from your perspective. How important is it to brand your product?
Oh, it's so vitally important, and we have worked very hard over the years to make our brand recognizable, and also, like I said, equated with certain things. So you equate it with quality, so you equate it with it being natural, and then you can trust the products. And you got to be very consistent in your branding as well, so that it's not confusing to your customer. But branding is key, and you just gotta keep hammering it in. But of course, in order to do effective branding, you first gotta figure out what your brand is, you know? And it's not just the logo, that's not your brand, yeah? That's just a small part of it. So you gotta figure out, what are your values, for instance, you know? And how are you gonna communicate those? So it takes a lot of work behind the scenes to do that. And then, it's not enough you, as the business owner, knowing what your brand is. You have to effectively communicate that to your team so that everyone is moving forward in the same direction, so that there is a united message.
Thank you, Kim. Okay, so just before we close the session, I think we have heard quite a lot from our panelists, Edna and Kim, and I'd like to involve everyone in the audience who would like to ask a question or seek clarification from our panelists on any aspect of what they've talked about today. So please feel free to raise your hand, and then we will take it from there. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much to the both of you. And I'd like to say this, that I find your courage, both of you, quite amazing. Like I say, I think I mentioned that I've been trying to run a business since I was 12 years old. And having arrived at trainings, and that's my question, I have decided I'm writing a book. And there's a chapter in my book with some of the lessons that I've learned, which is an aspect of character. Now, I just want to understand from the both of you, how much of what is called character actually has it taken for you to be where you are? Because it's a key lesson I've seen in trainings. We've got the visionaries, and they almost pass that on to you just because of the way they do things. So maybe, do you want to share some of that? What really is an aspect of it? And when I say character, I mean when it has been tested as a person, not as a business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pego, for correcting the volume. My name is Lydia Sibanda. I'm from LSD Industries. We are producers of toilet paper. Now, for the both of you, your businesses seem to be quite unique, and that which is not prone to fierce competition. But however, maybe from you we could learn how you would handle fierce competition. And I'm at the risk of being beaten by the one who is supposed to be my mentor now, from Trade Kings. How do you handle fierce competition, such as the one LSD Industries has faced from Trade Kings? And I'm saying this because we are all sisters here. And so even my sister, I've already booked, she's going to be my mentor. But I must say, I have fierce competition from Trade Kings. Thank you.
There are a few things, but maybe the one to bring up right now is, I think something that has served me is always trying to do my best. Trying to fulfill my potential, whatever that may be. So I was the kind of kid who would wake up an hour before I had to get ready to school to do some extra studying for a little exam. This is in grade 6, you know, because I wanted to do my best. Nobody enforced that on me. No, I wasn't going to get punished if I didn't do well. It's just been a part of me throughout my life that I really want to put my best foot forward and see what is my potential. And sport. And I find that incredibly helpful. I do CrossFit, where we push ourselves to the limit. Are you willing to go there? Are you willing to suffer like that? And that builds immense mental strength that I carry with me to the workplace as well. Thank you. It may not seem like we have competition, but let me tell you, we have competition. I have some trade cases as well. Just to give you an example, okay, we run health shops. ShopRite now has started doing their health shops within their select ShopRites. So how have we handled that competition? Well, we're one of their suppliers. So you'll see the Umoyo products there, but also some of the imported products. We are the ones supplying them with those products. So we are part of it, yeah? Another example of competition is we are producing various health drinks that we're wholesaling now. Kombucha, please come and try one, is one of them, but we do something called Ready Hash and Iced Tea, Baobab Juice, Immuno Boost, and so on. And water. And we're selling our water in ShopRite. I mean, how many water brands are there in ShopRite? There must be 20 plus. But how many are pink? Yeah? So that was one way that we could differentiate ourselves and say, no, we are different, you know? But with the other drinks, at the moment, ShopRite isn't taking more drinks because they have saturated that section within the supermarket. You know, so there is competition there. We have to now just differentiate ourselves and say, well, we're different because these are natural drinks. There are no chemicals or flavorings except the natural ones in there, and so on. But I think with competition, you also have to run your own race. Don't be too concerned what everyone else is doing. So figure out what it is you want to do, and then continue working along that way. And then also staying true to your brand, not trying to copy what everyone else is doing.
Okay. Madam President.
I think mine is just short, and it's coming from the discussion that is on the table, and it has to do with funding. And I understand and hear how many programs you have been into. And I think it's just an encouragement to women, don't be stuck in those programs. Because we spend a lot of time chasing grants than doing the business. If you're going to do business, invest, get money that costs you something, so that when you jump that leap, you jumped. But when we jump into this project and that project and that, that's all the business is actually. Coca-Cola was sitting just next to me, and I was saying, how many projects is Coca-Cola in? 0. That's America. Of course, you're going to say those are very big businesses, but no, for you to jump that leap and be a scalable business, a sizable business into a large, we as women have to stand up and actually look for financing that actually costs us something, because only when we overcome that are we going to pay business. I just wanted to contribute that.
Good afternoon, mine is not a question per se, it's more of a contribution. And thank you very much to the ladies, and well done for the job that you're doing. I'm a relationship manager in Zanaco, supporting the medium or imaging within the agricultural value chain. So, and what was profound with what Kim said is, of course, life is not a straight line, it's got curveballs, and when that happens, you should remember the why, which is the passion that she has. And this is what we've seen with most businesses, especially women-led businesses. And by the way, women are better paid than men. Sorry to the men. And then also, with regards to the competition, which they spoke about, there was, I think, a contribution which said it's let's evidence collaboration. What I've seen being done is women coming together, where you have they call them in the agriculture value chain like mini aggregators. Then you have like companies, let's say trade kings, and below trade kings, they give a contract to, let's say, one of the ladies, and they're not able to fulfill the orders, so they get other partners to work with to support trade kings. So I would urge all the women to follow that direction. large corporates as competitors who are taking you out of the business, but find ways of working with them? Thank you.
Okay, so I just wanted to give my new mentee some assurance, something that we possibly don't do, which I have learned painfully. Like I keep saying, having felt so many times, but I found it intriguing. With all due respect to the two of you, it is what is called by the book strategy. You could have a unique selling proposition, you could do your branding, you could have everything all figured out. You need to have a twist to the way you do things, and I'll let you in on a secret. I'm allowed, I hope I am, for a secret. The trade strategy has been disruption. What is your go-to-market strategy? Because the only way you're going to get attention is because when you go into a bar of cheese in a retail shop, right, the one thing that is clear is that there's a subliminal effect of the brand on your customers. But besides that, they remember that there's a way that you do things. What is your way of doing things? We rarely have a unique way of doing things. We want to do things like everybody else. But believe it or not, the market is indeed aggressive. Strategy. What is your strategy?